soon as you go in and start recording, I got you.
Well, you know what? I guess you can keep that on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how is everybody doing this tonight? It is 6:30 and we are coming to you live and in person. All right. Who do we have on here? Hello?
Miss Johnson?
Miss Johnson. How's everything going, Miss Johnson?
Just fine. How about you?
Well, you know, I am superiorly fantastic and fantastically superior, and just enjoying this day that has been made especially for me to keep walking through the blueprint, okay? And so I will just say that all is good. Happy New Year to you. And so,
Are we gonna have a speaker tonight?
no, ma'am. We will not have a speaker tonight, as what we are going to talk about is what's been in the latest news out here that you have heard.
Oh, okay.
And so, because I believe, see, what I don't like to do is address issues, and you got street committee stuff, you got this and misappropriate and all this other information. And what it is tell y'all my stance, where I stand on the facts of the case that I have in front of me. Okay, and so that we want to, that we want to just say, everything that we want to say, as that my whole thing is why we had to do what we had to do as far as the council.
Oh, okay.
Because
nobody.
You have the city charter. No, what it is, we start on time and we end on time, right? So my thing going in is we're gonna start at 6:30, and then those who can join in the conversation. And so because I respect people's time, and so one of the things is you had these charter amendment changes, and these charter amendment changes that came to change back the charter to its original form. Now, because what I'm going to publish is our original charter as we had it, those changes of the charter, and then the changes back for the charter. So I'm not even going to offer an opinion. I'm going to put here's the original charter, and it's going to be line by line. Here's the proposed charter that House Bill 1015, and now they changed. What the state legislature did that, and then what the results are, to change it back, and offer no opinion. It just says these are the stated facts. And I want everybody to read and comprehend for themselves that what is it that it does and speaks to it, and not the commentary, because commentary you can have and everything that's a gray area, you know what I mean? But you have black or you have white, black and white, you know what I mean? Those are facts. And so, in my opinion, and so we will have that to be the case. Now, what the mayor-elect, Mayor Khalid did.
You on?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Bye. Yes, we hear you.
Okay, so Mayor Khalid asked for the resignations of the city manager and the city attorney, which he can request that, no problem. The problem is when you request that and then go out and say you made that request publicly. But it's not just the city manager and city attorney that he requested it from. he brought in the city clerk, which does not fall under the city council, does not fall under the appointments, thus is under the city manager in the way it's structured as a city employee. And that's where it was out of bounds per the charter accordingly. So, but then when he went out in his inaugural address on the steps of the the steps of City Hall, which he was advised against from our city manager not to do after his inaugural address, and to do a virtual address for the Omicron variant. But the stance is there was an outdoor event and it happened. So anyway, subsequently, he went out there and then he said he asked for the resignations of these 3 individuals and the judge, because the judge's contract did expire at midnight and on December 31st, and asked for the resignations publicly. That's what caused a lot of discourse, created kind of a hostile work environment, because now it's like instability. They don't know if they're gonna have a job. Employees don't know what's going on. Am I next? It's kind of one of those things that read true, because staff was not reporting back to City Hall until the 10th, so today. And, some people was wondering if they was gonna have a job or have something to come back to. And then he went on to, I think, a couple of radio stations. I know Rose Scott was one of them, and went back and said the same thing. Now, he did say at the end he does not have the power to do so, but just by him mentioning that created that, even though you don't have the power to ask for it. And he said those are things that he's going to be challenging, with this new legislative session coming up. He's going to be making legal challenges under the charter to have some corrections corrected. But we're already in a charter review and for making some corrections to the text amendments to the charter. And then we also have a literal 5-year charter review due this year, as soon as our anniversary, 1 week after our anniversary, which is May 1st. So, and the city council, the mayor gets an appointment, city council get an appointment, and each of the delegation gets an appointment for the charter review. So, and I'm going to ask them to take a real thorough look and at these charter reviews, make sure that no section contradicts another section, and just make sure it's clear, concise, and to the point. Because, and then make once we wrap that up, make it to where it cannot be touched for the next, I guess it's for the next charter review, 10 years. Like we have to legally live by it, like good or bad. That's what I want to go. That's why me personally, I want to say, let's go through the thorough process, because if it's this easy, let's go change the Constitution of the United States. Let's just go do that, when we can do that. And so, since that's a difficult task, this is what we're governed by. This is what sets the tone of our city. And, and it is a city council, city manager form of government. Stonecrest set up, the same city set at the same time, was set up as a strong mayor form of government, or what they call a strong mayor. And so, and yes, in both cities, you have little issues, but their issue being that on the strong mayor is just one reason why I like the city council form, because it puts it in a group of people's hands and not in one person's hand. And so, and all that group of people is not going to be on the same accord all the time, but they still can have input as it is warranted and needed, because that's the way it's set up. And so every opinion don't have to be liked, but it will be respected. But if you have one person doing that, then it could be problematic. But Atlanta's form of government, shifted. You have to go back and look at the 100+ years in history that was. They went through 3 name changes before they came for Atlanta. And so you can just look back in history and look towards growing pains on how new cities became what they are today. But like I said, I don't disagree with him making the request. I strongly disagree with him making a request, making it known publicly, because this was right before the inauguration took place. And when the inauguration took place, I mean, they still carried on in a professional atmosphere. But as soon as they was getting calls, as soon as it was over, because we had to do staggered inaugurations, they were getting calls, man, is everything okay? Do you still work there? Do you need a job? I mean, it was kind of just one of those, and I didn't know about it until I was in the middle, and I'm just looking at an email, pointed to an email. And that was just a little perplexing, you know. But when I found out that it was said on the steps outside of the city hall, that's when I knew we had a problem. So we subsequently came up with a resolution to publicly reprimand him as far as you overstep the bounds and our regulations, what you did when it came to the city clerk. And so we had a special call meeting, and then we went back in executive session where we went into, discussion. We emerged out that everybody said what we had to say. Everybody, had their voices heard. And then we came back out. And then when we came back out of executive session, I mean, he addressed it, the public. He apologized, walked it back, and, and so that's allowing him room to grow in this field. I was good with that. I'm good. Okay. But, what we had to do was we had to do that resolution because he publicly made that statement. We had to publicly stand behind our employees and the staff, in which, for every reason, that to let them know that, yes, y'all, we still have a work environment. And so I was good with that. The next morning, they had a press conference. It was a press conference. I was not in attendance of that press conference. I have a job, I have a career, but not just that, but I think that things was handled accordingly the way that we should have handled them. I don't necessarily agree with a press conference, but I guess it had to be done because he, for whatever reason, he went on media, addressed it back with the media. He was out on the news, we reacted with the news. He was on the radio, we reacted with the radio. So if you see it in that point of view, then, it's all right. But at the end of the day, that's just allowing room to grow him to grow as the mayor. And there's nobody going to be perfect as things are going to, happen and come up. That's fine. It's a new deal. It's but he's the mayor. And so, like I said, that there's certain things you can do internally. That's not going to be a problem. But certain things you just should not do publicly. And so, until it is time to make the public known of what's happening, because, to be blindsided, that's kind of disheartening. As like, if any one of y'all, your job just closed out, you was just there and they just closed down, you'd be like, hey, nobody told you anything, and you still have stuff in the office. And so it's kind of one of those type situations. But I think that we can get past this, and I think that we're going to get past this. And so, because this is just one thing, but to build consensus from the mayor and the council, it takes both sides to be willing to come to the table and work out both sides. I'm certainly willing to do that, even though him and I talked. So it's and I didn't support him politically. And, he didn't support me politically. And so, but that's a political decision, but we're here now, and it's not, it's nothing personal, because personally, we are from here, we homeboys, and, who is serving our city. And so I think that coming together and working towards that, working towards a common goal, which is the people's agenda, is something that we both share and we both have in mind. And, and as time goes on, somebody told me at a meeting once, she says, trust comes with time, trust comes with time. So, and I'm willing to give it the time and put in the work to do that. And so, so we want to just make sure that everyone knows that it's not a point of contention, but as it's a bad start to an administration for, particularly the first meeting. But at the end of the day, then I think that something starts off rough and then it gets smooth. As before any road is paved, it's first with crush and run. So it's first gravel. And so I just have it from that approach and just work out the bumps and the bruises as we go along. But I'm here to let my community, the area that I serve, that I'm here in full support of our mayor. I'm in full respect of his decisions. There are progressive policies that, he wants to put forth. We share the same ideas. And so I think that, we'll be able to, progress forward, or I know we'll be able to progress forward, and just, understand that is the people's choice. At the bottom line, the people, 6% in every district, they chose him. And so that needs to be respected and understood, that that's what the people want. Let's act accordingly as a DS and as professional people who embody democracy at its finest. And so let's move forward. But I want to hear from you, any of you over here who have any questions, direct feelings on what is your sentiment on, from what perspective and from what you see as the constituent. Anybody?
My name's Allegra Hutchinson. I want to make a comment, but I came in towards the end of what you were saying, so I'm just going to.
No, go ahead, Ms. Hutchinson. Go ahead, make your comment.
I mean, I don't have a comment because I didn't hear all of what the point was, is what I was saying. I think
no,
we were referring to. Go ahead.
Yeah, we were referring to the events that transpired last week, when the mayor asked for the resignations of the city manager, the city attorney, and the city clerk. There was nothing wrong, and I stated there was nothing wrong with the request, but when he did the request and went out there and said it publicly, that was the issue. But the request, there's nothing wrong with the request he made for the city manager and the city attorney. The issue, he stepped out of bounds when he made it to the city clerk. He couldn't call him into the office for that said reason, because that goes against the charter, because he's an employee. And so, but then when he went out there and made these statements publicly, that's when the issue came. And that's why we had to issue a reprimand of disapproval of those actions. And that's what I was stating, that this is what this is about. And I said, and then from the, when that charter change amendments, he did say that he was going to be challenging these in court challenges to make these charter amendments. Some agreeable, some, just, not. But at the end of the day, I mean, he's going to do whatever that he has the right to do. But some things just doesn't need to be made publicly for very reasons of, you cannot create a hostile work environment.
Okay.
To existing employees. But go ahead. What was your comment?
Well, I kind of agree with that. I think that and this is just my opinion, everyone, possibly that he was a little overzealous in wanting to, hit the ground running. I do agree that he should have spoken to the team first before doing so. So I do agree with that. That's all I had to say. I just wanted to kind of figure out what you were making comments to. So thank you for recapping.
Yes, ma'am. This right here is dedicated because you can hear street committee comments. I don't know, but this platform, we here to address all, and this is a pertinent issue resonating throughout the city. And so I think that we are here to address that and hear any opinions that you have as constituents on anything. So because this is an issue. And this is what's resonating, but I want to get the facts straight and let people know where I stand.
Well, Corey, this Miss Johnson. I just don't feel like are we gonna be on television going public with everything that happened down here in the South Side? Because that does not look good. That means no one would want to come here. So I feel as though things should be discussed amongst you all first before jumping on the television, spreading all our laundry to the media. And then second of all, I got a question. So the judge is out of job, right? And the clerk, are we gonna keep her or did he let her go because she's an employee?
Okay, well, right, you're right. All his action came on his own, because he did not consult with the city council on this, did not consult with neither one on this. And so that's problem number one. And he apologized for that as well. But then also too, the city clerk, which is Corey Adams, he is still here. He walked that back when we came out of the executive session. He did apologize. He walked that back and understood that where we stand with that. And so, but his challenges is going to be towards this for the city manager and the city attorney. But to answer your question, no, I don't like being on the news for anything of that nature. And so, but we live in a different world now. So that's all I can tell you. I just pray for the best. I pray for, positive news. I love positive news, but it's not for all the wrong reasons.
Well, I agree. This is Ms. Hutchinson, and I would have to agree with Ms. Johnson that, we are a new city fairly still, all eyes on South. And from what I do for a living and who I represent as far as executives and leaderships and people that make the ball roll in development and things, we need to look at where we are, who we are. And, I think Fulton County is trying to separate themselves anyways from South Fulton, the North Fulton. So for us to be bickering amongst ourselves and, being a little overzealous, trying to hit the ground running, whatever his situation or thought process was, maybe he needs to look at what the protocols are, what the process is in presenting something to the council to add to the agenda before, just speaking out of turn, just because you feel like you're the mayor or you're the president of this, of the country or the city or the county, you still have to follow guidelines, processes, and protocols.
Correct.
Regardless if you're an elected official or employee. I just feel like there are still the processes of doing the right thing at the right time. And then with us being African Americans majority or minorities in the South here, South Fulton, I think that, as Ms. Johnson said, all eyes on us. And then when they love to see people arguing, fighting off our own.
Right, correct. I agree with you. And so, I can just say from my end, I like you could agree to disagree, but
Right.
you still have a conversation, and you could do it in a matter of decorum as well as without it seem so hostile. And it's and because me, everything is I don't take anything personal, as this is just it's a political environment. It's something that we we deal with, but for every reason as well as young people that are from here, that they can be encouraged or discouraged. I mean, from the perspective I have is from, and this goes back to that Father's Day march that we did on Old National, and the march we did on Old National, it was for every reason. It was just, it was a surreal moment, and I saw the youth there, and these young boys and girls they were standing there just looking at it in amazement, and there was tears coming out of people's eyes, and there was applauding, there was happy, proud day, and it was just in that moment. And so that, for me personally, I just, taking that in, and I just recall that's what I'm doing it for. That's them right there, like, and that gives young people something that they can aspire for to be great right here. They don't have to leave to go anywhere, right here. And so for every reason in the world that it's, and you do it for them, and so I want them to be encouraged on saying that you can still have fundamental beliefs, but still come together and be able to have a decorum and discussion and still be okay, still make a difference, right here from where you're from. And so or they can be discouraged by certain things and actions from both sides. And so that's why I want a cohesive group of people that shows that, look here, we might be different in our mindsets, but at the same time we can get through and go through this process, because it is a process. After all, we did survive 4 years of what people say we survived 4 years of Donald Trump. We're surviving these years of Joe Biden. So we're surviving through all the presidential deals. And so this is his local, but you feel it more because this directly affects you. Anybody else have a comment? I know people have opinions on this. I know it's a hot button issue. I read all the next door comments too, by the way.
Councilman Reeves.
Yes, ma'am.
Victoria Rogers. So I've been kind of out of pocket a little bit. Where do we stand with the city manager I understand we have a city clerk. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have a city clerk. He's over our elections, and that's position is still there. He's still there. The city manager has a contract, so she's contractually obligated, and so when you have contract law and the city council sets and sign the contract, it's that's what's problematic, and so that just cannot be. That can't be done. It just can't be done. So.
And I'm so sorry. So I just got out the hospital, a little stink. So I was in and out. But
are you okay?
I said I just got out the hospital. I'm good today. I'm eyes free.
Are you okay?
Eyes free.
Okay.
Eyes free. I'm doing good.
Well, glad
I know you didn't know. Nobody knew. Thank you. So all I could see, I wasn't following closely. Well, I had my mind on something else. So can you just recap quickly what the news, I guess the news report, not the report, but y'all had to go to the media. Can you just recap what that was for me?
No, well, the mayor went and said publicly that he he did not consult with the council. And so he went out and said publicly that he asked for the city manager, city attorney, and city clerk's resignation. And although, you know, he could request anything as the mayor, but you just cannot do that publicly. But you can't request anything of an employee, only of your appointees. And so that's where, and he went out publicly and made those statements, and then on the radio as well. And then we just came back with a resolution and just disagree with that act, basically. And so publicly, and then, you know, and at the end of that meeting, he walked it back and he apologized, and that was good. That's fine by me. And so just ready to move forward.
Okay, so the resolution, that's what, so for clarity, the resolution was just a response to the action. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Everything, the resolution, then the subsequent press conference and the radio, that was all a reaction to the action that was taken publicly.
Okay. Yeah, well, we just need to pray for wise counsel, that wise counsel would come to his side. So thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Corey, this Ms. Johnson again. Okay,
Yes,
you said the city attorney was on the contract, okay?
city
Is that
manager,
right?
city manager.
Yeah, the city manager was under a contract. So if he let her go, well, the city will have to pay that contract out if it's not up. Am I right?
Right. That's why I said you just can't do that, right? You just can't ask him to
You
resign.
can't do that.
Right.
Okay, okay. I just wanted verification on that one. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Corey, this is Ms. Hutchinson again. That was for the city manager, the judge, and who else? The city clerk?
Yes, ma'am.
Just those three?
That's who he asked the resignation for. And the
Yeah.
judge, the municipal judge, his contract expired at midnight on December 31st, because that expires with the term of the mayor.
Okay, for the judge,
Yes, ma'am.
but not the city clerk and the city manager.
Correct.
Okay. Now, were those the only three positions that he was requesting resignation from or termination?
At the time, yes, ma'am.
Okay. At the time that he made the public statement.
Yes, ma'am.
And this was more or less, well, I'm just speaking of how I see it, to mimic what Mayor Bottoms did when she entered. It was something like that, would you say? And mimic what she did when she came in?
Well, their form of government, they already know that. That's so, because it's a strong mayor, so they have administration. So when a new mayor comes in, usually people tend to their resignation as a courtesy. They usually accept it because they want to build their own administration. Like I just got wind of the director over from Atlanta Habitat. She's now going to join Andre Dickens as a chief operating officer. So it's you know, it's just from relationships and people you know and things of that nature. So it's not out of the norm for that type of government, but for this type of government, it's a council city manager form. But one thing the mayor did say is that he's not going to make any contract or entity's contract to run after December 31st.
Okay, you're talking about Mayor
Cleveland. Yes, that's the mayor. Yes, ma'am. So when I say mayor, I'm talking about the current mayor. If I say mayor, it was a mayor. It was like, you know, the former ladder, this and that third. But you know, that is our mayor, so he gets all due respect to that.
Right.
Term.
You were talking about Atlanta mayor and who was joining him. That's all. I got a little confused.
Oh no, right? No, no, I was talking about the forms of government because the city of Atlanta. You said like when Keisha came in, right?
Yeah, I was just
she's just saying that she got confused with the two when you were saying a comment. That's what she's saying. She's saying you were talking about the city of Atlanta, but then you jumped to the other.
Then I transitioned
Right. So
Right.
she didn't know which mayor you were talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
I have a question though. Now,
I'm gonna work on that
with,
transition
with
right there for the conversation. I'm gonna work on that. Thank you. But go
No,
ahead.
no.
with the, I think you said something about a resolution. What was that resolution? Was that a resolution that you guys just passed in replace of this open public statement, or?
Mm-mm. Matter of fact, let's see. Tamiko, could you go ahead and say, pull up the resolution? So let me just, and then post that in the chat.
Okay.
Right. Thank you. And so, yes. And so I want y'all, the resolution, it's been posted, subsequently throughout different outlets, but I want you guys to have it here as well, so that, you know exactly what it is and what it says as in its entirety. And so, we just have to understand that, but I'm ready to move on and move past it. So
I hope so, because
it's something that was done. It's like how long are you gonna complain about the milk being spilled before you clean it up? And then clean it up, okay, cool. Let's just try not to spill it again. And so, because things do happen, like you said, it could be anxiety, it could be just
overzealous.
but we just need to understand that this is a consensus. This is a council-led government, and so we're here. All it does is we can disagree, but we're forced to come to the table and and talk at both sides. And so, it's something that because at the end of the day, the mayor does have his role, and he is the spokesperson for the city, the face of the city. And so, and he sets the agenda. And so that's why I'm just saying that, it's both sides need to have a working relationship.
So, how was the move in? Did he find the apartment in Camelot? I saw y'all had a picture.
Well, District 5 did welcome him to come over to District 5, and so we welcomed him as he made his transition to Camelot. There's a day service. I think it's on King Day. So anybody's welcome to come out there on King Day for a day of service, and we walk the community, and we all have a dream, and we dream a lot of Camelot, and so things are going to be better. So, but and as our chief stated on there last week, was coming in and the move from Jerome Road, but we will still have a presence, so no national, and so that but Camelot is what it is, and we're going to progress forward and attack this together. And so because there's just things that just are going to take place, and move forward with progress as we need to.
I mean, did he find an apartment over there? And that's what I'm asking.
Oh no, he moved in. He's over there. I was over there the other day. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, he's that he has a place. Yeah. So in other words, he really lives there. He has a real lease. He pays real money. So
he's paying his own rent. Is he paying his rent, or are we paying his rent?
No, I mean he's paying his rent. Who is we? The city of South Wilson?
Yes, we as a homeowner, taxpayer, are we paying his rent over there?
No, he gets a salary, and so
I'm just asking.
Right.
Be,
I'm sorry.
Okay, so, I keep it 100.
Hey, right. That's what I just don't. Again, so what I'm saying is this: has anybody ever considered that? Because we don't make the mayor and council, we don't make no money. We don't earn no money like that. I mean, it's a decent salary for a part-time job, okay? But it's a full part-time job. But him as a new mayor is, it's full-time. And I wanted to know, is anybody just thought about, could that be the only place that could afford based on the salary? So when we looking at affordable housing, when we're looking at this, is think about it now. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I don't really ask them type of questions. But I'm just saying that's another perspective that I think, as I said, because if he's this the only job he's taking and that's it, then we have to look at what about other people who are in this situation who are a working class, but that's the only place they can afford to actually live. So I look at it from that perspective as well.
Okay, Corey, it's Miss Johnson again. Okay, they say he paying $800 a month over there for 8 months. Over there at Camelot, that's what they said. My question is, one man got on television and say he won't be staying here long with these rats and roaches. So my question is, I know you don't know, but is he staying over there at night, or was that for TV show and he's only there maybe whenever he's there? And my second question, Corey, is that, you know, I keep it real with you. So my second question is, so what's going to be the outcome, or do you know the outcome of Camelot? Because my thing is that the 5th District have other projects that need to be taken care of. And is the city of South Fulton police over there guarding him if he's staying at night? And that's going to affect my police is getting to my problem in my area. Okay, can you answer that? Thank
And we
you.
already have a problem with the
And wait, I have a question too. This is going to Colin. How you doing?
Superb.
May I? Okay. So is Camelot individually owned?
Yes, ma'am.
And they're individually owned. And why is it that everyone feels as though the city should be responsible for the repairs? If they are individually owned, the people that's receiving the rent are the ones that are making the profit.
I'm gonna be very
Help me
clear
out.
about this. I'm gonna be very clear. The city is not responsible for not one thing over in that private property condominium subdivision. Nothing.
Okay.
Except for, you know, we go out there, they got fire hydrants, they got this, they tied into the infrastructure. But outside of that, any repairs, we're not, they have programs for that. The city ain't one of them. And so, but going back to the previous question is, does he have police protection at night over there that's going to affect police protection? No, ma'am. There is no extra added patrols. There's no detail. There's nobody guarding him over there at night. He says that he's spending the night over there. Yes, to my knowledge, he is spending the night in Camelot, yes, he's staying over there. You know, I'd be real with y'all. Y'all will be keeping it real 100. I was just out there right before this call, and so somebody just got stabbed in the neck, right over there in Camelot, just standing right out there bleeding for every reason that is standing out there bleeding. And so some just got stabbed in the neck. But these are the things that happen over in Camelot on a daily basis, you know, and I keep my ears and eyes open to that, as we know that it's a situation. And so can I speak on what I do know what we're planning to do at Camelot? I can't at this moment, because as I believe in whatever is going to be done, whatever we're doing is going to be expressed to the residents of Camelot first, and then, you know, subsequently to the masses. And so, but to answer the question, yes, I do know. I'm just not at liberty to disclose right now at this time, because we have not had that said meeting with Camelot as an entirety as of yet.
And do the owners pay taxes on the property?
Pardon me?
The owners, do they pay taxes on the property? The taxes being collected?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And one other question is regarding the charter. Regarding the charter, shouldn't everybody in office in the city of South Fulton be familiar with the charter and have some knowledge of it?
Absolutely. And because we will be putting that charter out on the website, and so everybody can see it. Matter of fact, along with that resolution, Tamiko, do you have can you get a copy of that charter, the city charter, and then post that as well? And
I'll
it's just pull it right
I'll
down.
work on it.
Okay. And so, pull that down. And so, but as I stated earlier, I'm gonna get the charter, its original text, how we know, get the charter for the charter changes for that the legislative body put in place. Then I'm gonna get the charter as it reads out there of making the changes back to it. So, and offer no opinions, you'll have the 3 versions that everybody's talking about and a copy. So you'll be able to read out there for yourself, everything, and it's gonna be line by line item. And so you can be able to just see it for yourself. I offer no commentary. I'm just gonna present the facts as they stand.
And to have these lawsuits against the city and the charter will bring such a negative light on the city.
Challenges. He's going to bring challenges to the charter in a legal platform on some of the things that he sees that he wants to change, like the term of the city manager, the city attorney, and the judge as it stands. But for those 2 particularly, that's all I know at this moment. Is all I've heard the rhetoric being. So, I mean, does he have a right to do so? Is it the right thing to do at the right time? I don't necessarily think it's something that should be done at this time. I think we have bigger issues. One, we have a whole council mayor got to coming together because we just got to build that and work on that, work on the trust issues, work on the working relationship. But we know we the council, but and I know we already know he's the mayor, and so he is the mayor, and we are the council, and so we just need to kind of shore that relationship up and then progress forward.
Corey, Sheila, what is the plans for the land once you all demolish Camelot?
You go, Sheila. Yes, Sheila. Yes, yes.
Hey,
You all
you
said keep it 100.
Keep it 100, Sheila, because you read
I know there's a
between
plan.
lines too. Did you read?
Yeah, I know there's a plan. So what is the plan? I know you all already talked about it. What is the plan once you all demolish Camelot? Once it's demolished, what's the plan?
He can't talk about it.
I'm not at liberty to discuss anything until we talk and speak first to the residencies of Camelot in its entirety. But I did invite our mayor on to come in and to speak. Then you can ask him that question. Me personally, I just y'all know how I am. The people have to know, before I go say anything that they have to. I just can't spread news like that unless they know what's going on. I don't want nobody to be blindsided on anything.
And I know this is not your district, but the land that's next to Dr. Alfred Wyatt on Old National, the dentist's office, there were a senior home. I'm assuming it was a senior area that had started. I don't know, 5-6 years ago, they had started building homes over there, or condos, or they ranch homes, or whatever they are, right across from the Walmart. Next to Dr. What are those, and when are they going to finish the completion? I know that's not your district, but do you know anything about it?
Oh, I know the owner. I know McGee Landing. There was it wanted out to be an enclave, and there was a developer came in and offered him an amount for a piece of land because he wanted to build 8-home enclave of $1 million plus homes that would be gated, because the building that you see there is the actual community center that was on there. Will Johnson is the developer, and he also has the senior assisted living place that you just cross over Old National up there to the left, kind of behind the Dunkin' Donuts and that Vance Auto. And so, but yeah, it's just, but the infrastructure in place, it got curb and gutter. It's ready to be developed, but it's, all I can say is I don't get it. I don't know deep into the details. Introduce him to people in the city, looking at the city, can buy the land, get it off of him. but for whatever reason, no deal has ever manifested or materialized, and so that means there's a bigger issue than I can state.
Hey, Corey, it's Miss Johnson again. Now, I just want going forward that you and the mayor, you all, the city council people can, you all can come together. I do not want to sit on a Zoom listening to you all with 45 things whenever we have the city council meeting to 1 o'clock and nothing get done because you all arguing, bigging back and forth. That just don't look good. A bunch of Black people just sitting up there arguing back and forth and we get nothing done. We on to 1 o'clock. Now that's got to be taken care of. You all got to work together better than that.
Yes, ma'am. And I agree with you. And I don't think it was that particular night. It was just a long agenda set. I don't think those agendas will be that long. And then we removed 13 items off of the consent agenda to go each one of them line by line. So that did extend the meeting. But I hear you, because y'all know me. I don't like cameras. I don't even. I don't do media like that. I just like to get the job done, and so I'm totally with that.
Okay, thank you.
So Councilman Reeves, for clarity.
Hold on. Your phone breaking up. Your phone breaking up.
I'm sorry.
Can anybody else hear?
No, we can't hear Victoria.
Okay, where are we with the charter and proposed changes?
So, we're at with the charter we're at the we had the first read in December. We're going to be on to the second read and subsequent adoption.
Corey, is Tamika on the line?
Yes, ma'am.
Is she gonna have the class tomorrow?
Oh, the senior digital class.
Yes.
So since staff is back, they closed all the facilities. We was doing it at Burdett. So Tamiko, so I don't know if they open the facilities back up, but if we had the people registered, I'd not. But I will get. I'll talk to you after. But I believe we're still on because staff did return back today. So, but yeah, I think we are still on because the building was open. So I was told people down there getting business licenses. So yes, I'm gonna say yes until I call you and tell you anything otherwise.
Okay.
So does anybody else, commentary is, I know that this is very lightning. So, but however, I think that, like you said, that we're gonna work together to get through this. I just have to believe that we can do it. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. And, is to discuss and set policy. And so that's our job. So I think that we can all be capable of that and doing it, in a manner which is according to the people we represent. And because you don't want nobody coming down here and think that's all we do is fight. That connotation just is not good. And so, but it's gonna be a, just all I can say is just keep us in prayer, keep the city in prayer. Just like, you know what I mean, pray for our leader. And you know, as everybody has challenges, and you know, this is just a hurdle that we just, and how you get over a million hurdles is one at a time. And so, this is just a hurdle. We're just gonna get over this hurdle. That's all.
Brother Reeves, how you doing, sir?
Super fantastic.
Awesome. It's Brother Denton.
Dom, hey, hey,
Hey, man. Hey,
get this.
hey,
I'm glad that you okay.
hey, COVID didn't beat me. I beat COVID. How about
Hey,
that?
man, I beat it down, like knocked it out. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yes, sir.
Good to hear you, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, we rooting for you, man. We know we got some new leadership and, you know, some things and some changes coming about, man. But we rooting for you guys, and we expect y'all to represent the way y'all supposed to.
I believe so too, sir. And I'm gonna do I'm gonna do the best that I can do, and speak for myself. And I just pray that everybody else is conformed that, you know, we do have new leadership, and we also have new leadership in six, Natasha Williams, and in four, JC Sebastian. So, you know, I think we could be solid into that manner.
I agree, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. So, well, we'll tell y'all next week is we're gonna have Goodwill on, and that's gonna be a nonprofit week for anybody who got nonprofits and to speak about, and then also because they got programs that people can receive jobs money for 18 and up, and you know Goodwill does, and so for every reason that we need to put some people into work, put some people back in. Let's stabilize this economy through a solid workforce, because you can't talk about economic development and ain't nobody working. So
They got to want to work now.
well,
You can't
that's the government giving them
you
more
can't
jobs.
make them work if they don't want to. They gotta want to.
Right. And that's and if they continue not to want to, then you know, it's you could destabilize an economy that way as well. So we can't just keep accepting. But those who want to work, for them, those who want to work, you know, there's opportunity out there, and we're going to present that opportunity for them to come and to expand their horizons and start possibly new careers. And so, Tamiko, did you have that resolution?
Oh, he trying me, y'all. He don't even notice that it's been on the chat. See there?
That's
y'all,
what I'm talking
y'all
about.
gonna have to come and support that. I answer him with the quickness.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. You see the swift action right here. So you know what I mean? Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
But I do have a couple announcements before you go.
Go ahead.
Alrighty, one of the things that we do want to talk about is we are coordinating a homeowners association cohort to have a quarterly session with the councilman and the association representatives. So either make sure we do not have all the contacts of all the homeowner associations, or we don't know who the current people are. So please make sure we have that information, because that meeting is in the process of getting scheduled for this third Tuesday of this month, and then quarterly going from there. And so we don't want to have any homeowner association saying they weren't included, but if we don't have the correct contact information. So any of you, make sure that you're on here, you let them know to send their information in to the councilman, so we can make sure we have correct contact. We also are rolling out our text messaging service. So you will start getting some notifications of the Monday night meetings that you can pass on to people you know in the community, and or if there is any emergency situations that we have to pass out something or tell the community, or just reminders of upcoming events. So that service is coming.
If I can interrupt for a second, there's a jot form in the chat that you can use to opt in to receive those text messages.
But everyone that we already have phone numbers, we are assuming you are opting in, that you've given us your information to be notified. So just let us know. And then you said there's a day of service at Camelot this year.
On MLK Day. This is called for. This is called for by the mayor.
Okay, so he'll pass on the rest of those details. Sure. Okay. And then
I'm asking anybody who wants to join in from this. Anybody who wants to join in, they can come join.
All right, so we'll have something to post.
And it should be. I'm going to wait on
right,
the
we'll
information.
get it from the mayor
Right.
and post it. And then there's some committees that you need some residents to participate on.
Oh, yeah, board appointments. But I got the list from Adams, and he was saying that, because I think it was 2-year terms. I will, yes, but I sent those board appointments in, they'll be out in the newsletter.
All right.
It's for the Code Enforcement Board, the Environmental Committee, the
So we'll talk about them a little bit more next week.
Right.
All righty. And we have put out a request to get CSX and GFL here. We are still working on getting that date confirmed, but we are working on it. So
Absolutely, because GFL, we have more services. You don't have to necessarily use GFL, but I do understand that they are some of the only providers in certain areas. So the complaint factor is just sky high. I'm going to be asking for that to be consideration on sanitation contract, and subsequently that be a scoring criteria is from public input on their customer service or customer no service. So yes. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is 7:31, 7:32 now, and so we will be going ahead and end this call because thank each and every one of you for joining us this evening. And like I tell you all the time out there, if you got some chicken wings you're frying up, I want mine tonight with lemon pepper sprinkles, as if you're getting ready to watch the Monday night football game. But in all in all, on a serious note, is just take out the time and just say a quick prayer for our city and a quick prayer for our leaders, as the cohesiveness and collaboration of mindsets come together for the better input, so the citizens, the constituency, can receive the return on their investment in every shape, form, or fashion, as that is what y'all so vehemently deserve. And so I want to be up here to let you know that we're all here to serve you well, passionately. We just might have different ideas, but shaping and coming together, we will be on one accord because you are the common denominator. So thank y'all again. And
Go Dogs.
Go Dog. Hey, that's the championship. I'm trying to tell you.
Go Alabama.
Go Dogs.
Alabama.
Hey, get it. Y'all already know I'm switching out shirts right now. I'm about to switch it up right now. You know what I mean?
I see you.
Alabama.
I see you.
It's always somebody.
Alabama.
See, we can agree to disagree. This prime example right now, because I'm about to be on opposite sides of a whole bunch of people. But hey, we still come together at the end of it and be friends. Okay? All right. So look here, love you all. Thank y'all so much. And we will be seeing y'all later. And Miss Johnson, I'll be calling you with that information if I find out anything other than, okay?
Alabama, we don't have your wings.
All right. I know Danny over there just jumping up for joy right now. And so, but all right. Well, look here. Y'all take care and enjoy your evening.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.